Wow, feels
Hey,
a little naked there, not having our regular intro.
I know. Kind of different.
Just a little. I'm like, whoa, that's not the routine was off just a tad.
Well, hello, folks in the chat room. We got Dalibor. Hey, Dalibor, thanks for dropping in.
Hi, Delabor.
And Barry, thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
Hi, Barry.
Well, this is an opportunity to premiere our first episode of the Voices from Esoteric Egypt Voices, featuring Khadijah Hammond. She's going to be presenting us with material, live videos that she takes through her tours through Egypt, and explaining some of the symbology and some of the spiritual concepts from the ancients. And she's got live footage. Hi, Michelle. On the ground, usually in locations that most people don't go, or in very rare does she encounter tourists during the times that she goes. So we'll have exclusives and closer looks at some of the features inside of these ruins. And she'll explain what's going on with them and some of the misconceptions that people have. Hey, Audrey, good to see you. Truth Seeker.
Hi, Audrey.
So this is our first time running the episode.
Yeah,
We had a
new
sort of trial run during our last show. We embedded it into our show. These will be, I don't know, people call them short takes or outtakes. They're like little snippets. And this one is what, 15 minutes long?
A little over 15 minutes long. Yeah.
She's going through the Temple of the Priests. And we'll try to put some educational material in the YouTube channel description page so that folks can get an idea of what it's going to cover. And then she goes into more in-depth explanation as she's taking us through the tour. And she feels it's her way of bringing a little bit of Egypt to each and every one of us, because we can't get there right now. And a lot of people want to go. And so she'll be able to help bring some knowledge and wisdom to the surface, some of her own personal experiences. Now, when she covers something that's a little bit more broad, like her 45-minute tour of Luxor, that's going to be on our next, one of our next soon, and then a couple weeks from now, I think, Esoteric Egypt show. So she'll be on, and I think she's planning on having an archaeologist with her on the boat, on her boat.
This will be great.
Live, speaking to us during this viewing of her 45-minute Luxor Temple video. So that's an Esoteric Egypt series. But this is Voice of Egypt, and what we want the chat room to do for the folks that are able to participate is to give us your comments in chat about this concept, about doing this and what you're getting out of it. And if you're enjoying it, we need your feedback to let us know if this is something that you'd like to see us do on a regular basis. We're thinking maybe weekly, have a Voice from Egypt. Depends on her travels abroad and where she's going. And yes, Truth Seeker, she is feeling a whole lot better. She kicked butt. She used the lotus elixir, purple lotus, among and other things.
Blue lotus?
Blue lotus.
It was blue lotus.
Blue lotus oil. And she also used frankincense and rose. I don't know. She had a concoction. She kicked its butt. She kicked that COVID right on out the door.
Yes, she did.
Yeah, she did.
Pretty exciting.
So she'll be taking off soon. And she'll be going on her tour with her initiates. And using her boat, and we'll be getting a lot of footage during that process, plus whenever she can link in. So, hey, Jules.
Hi, Jules.
All right, so let's get started. Let's give you an idea of what this is going to look like every week. And folks, be honest. Tell us exactly. Now, Laura, you're saying in the very beginning of her video, it's a little low.
Yeah, which the first clip that we go into, her volume is really low, but it'll come back up. So I'll make some adjustments as best I can, but it'll get better. And then you'll get a much better picture of what's going on. So just to forewarn everyone.
All
And
right.
we're
So
going to watch this with you, everyone. So we'll be on the
Yeah.
side here watching it with you.
all right, here we go.
All right, here we go.
Up and away.
Yay!
Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. My name is Khadija Hammond, and I am the owner of the Great Lady Bastet, the wonderful sailing vessel that you will be visiting Egypt in if you come with us. And today I'm going to show you something interesting in the temple, something called the Ak Manu, and I'll tell you about that when we get there. But here we are in front of the Great Hall, and you see the ram statues, which are sacred to Ammon. The ram was his animal, symbolizing his great power and fertility. And it is really beautiful to walk along. I'm going to walk with you now. As we go to see this beautiful place, I'm just filming along as we walk in. And this is what you're going to see if you come to Egypt. And if you can't come, bless your heart, I feel for you. We will bring Egypt to you. In fact, I'm planning to do that anyway, because I would have loved it if someone could have done this for me before I was able to finally come home. Here we are, we're coming now into the precincts. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you have to understand a little something here. No one was allowed in this temple except the priests. People could not come in here like they're doing. What you see now is all open, but there used to be two huge doors there that were closed. The priests had places where they lived. And if I pan around, I'll show you a sacred sheikh's tomb, which was built here. I'll find out what his name is when I go in. But anyway, the holy precinct of this sacred temple is now being entered along with me, your guide and your friend. I'll talk to you a little bit about it. The priesthood of Amun-Ra consisted of 4 or 5 different classes of what you would call priests. They went by different names and they had different functions. Some of them were here all the time. Some were here only during the certain times of year. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. And they only had part-time work, and then they would go home to their farms, and they would only work here part of the time. The other priests were here all the time. There were carihebs that were noted for their leopard skins that they wore, and the carihebs were keepers of the sacred scrolls, which some of them were hoary with age, and there were bands of priests called sim-priests who were actually scribes who kept the scrolls. And there were many, every priest really in a way was a sim-priest. They all knew how to write. They were extremely intelligent and highly educated. I don't know what we're going to see today. The other day, Sekhmet came in, and I don't know, I think I posted that already for you. And she was growling and snarling because she's still angry. But anyway, let's take a look at these beautiful things. All right? Aren't they gorgeous? Now, you can find out all the nitty-gritty by reading any guidebook that gets into who did what. Now, I don't care. I like to talk more about what the temple symbolized and what went on here. And it was a very serious, very, very amazing and wonderful transmutation temple. I don't even know what to compare it with. You can't compare it with anything. It's the biggest temple in the world. It is, oh, this is quite pretty. That face is better. Isn't that gorgeous? Anyway, we're coming in now, and I'm going to turn this off for a few minutes. Here are the guardians, right here. Not him. This guy's the chief archaeologist, he told me, of the area. This guy thinks he's a Navy SEAL, but he's really too short. Wallah, Habibi, turn around. Turn around.
Left.
Jamil! But I told him already he's too young to be too young and too little. The Navy SEALs would kill him. Anyway. There's our ticket man here. He takes your ticket when you come in. Huh?
Selfie.
What?
Selfie.
My Russian. I don't know what you mean. Take a picture of you? You're a very sexy man. Very sexy man. Look at that man. Oh, yeah.
أنا تعبان.
تعبان the man. حرام يا هام.
أنا مش فاهم أي حاجة.
أنا فاهمة. I understand too well. تكلم شوية؟ ليه؟ أنت تتكلم إنجليزي؟
لا أخويا اللي بيتكلم لغات كتير.
Your brother speaks a lot of English. But he's married to a beautiful blonde Swedish woman. Is it Joe's a woman?
لا مش متجوز ده.
Did Joe's
No,
speak Sweden?
no.
لا ليه؟
ما فيش فلوس.
ما فيش فلوس.
He isn't married to a
No
beautiful.
money.
He isn't married to a beautiful Swedish woman because he has no money.
طلعي السويد الراجل.
Sweden, Gamil, Falus, Gamil. Sweden, Falus, Katir. You so the people are very beautiful. Two beautiful ladies and a gentleman. He must be a guide. He has that energy, right? That woman was scratching her butt. Anyway, off I go to the Akhmenu. Can you imagine? They were colorful. They were inlaid with glass paste. Who knows, maybe even gemstones. The ceiling was covered. And inside here were numerous statues, which very few are left. But some of them are still here. And if I see one, I will film it for you. But imagine, this is all covered. Here you can see some of the paint still there. And it was dimly lit to protect all the beautiful things. And it was beautiful alabaster lamps. Here's another really great shot of the ceiling. Do you see that? Where the paint is still visible and clear. Here's another one here, so the paint is still on it. Seti started this temple, Seti, and his son, Ramses II, finished it for him as an honor. And Ramses' name is everywhere because he had a bad habit of usurping other people's things. He was an egomaniac, I think, truly. Truly, I do. But as I'm walking with you through the temple here, if I find something of interest, I'll show you. Now they're trying to protect the frescoes from a stupid tourist. And I don't mean everybody's a stupid tourist, but there are some who are. They love to paint their name on there. That's new work they just did to restore Horus walking with the king. And somebody will come in here, if they had their way, they'd have their name all over it, just like they do in the Great Pyramid. I'm walking now through this hypostyle hall, and I'm thinking of what it must have been like when the temples were colorful, dimly lit, and only the priests here. And the floors were spotlessly clean. And you had this fantastic privacy here. There was no one allowed here but the priesthood. There were priestesses and priests. It was a very holy place, highly charged, because no one was ever allowed in here unless they were a priest or a priestess. And in order to do that, they had many things that they had to do. So here you have Amun-Ra and Amunet. And you have the queen shaking her shistrum there. Do you see it? I'm going to go a little closer. The shistrum, of course, were sacred to Hathor, and they were sort of a rattle. This one has the head of Hathor. And they had little symbols, but their symbols were tuned. They weren't like the cheap ones you buy. These had a beautiful sound, like it might have been the key of F or the key of C or A or whatever they used. And it made a very pleasing sound, not like a rattle, not like a tambourine, but really beautiful. Now here we have the king, and the next is the god of writing, Tohot, wisdom in writing, with Amun, Ptah, and it looks like it could be Amun, Mut, and Ptah. Quite interesting. And he is sitting in a tree. I'm not sure if this is the sacred sycamore tree or not, that I showed you the lion growling where I filmed it yesterday, but this is the one with the holy milk, and they use that for medicinal reasons. Thank you. I'm seeing a lot of the guards today. Nobody has any clients. We're all broke. So, I'm walking towards the sacred lake, and this is going back to the 9th, 10th, and 11th pylons, gates, and here we have a vestibule, a court. There were many of these. Here you see Hatshepsut's beautiful obelisk, which some people say Thutmose III had it built up. He couldn't take it down, so he built around it and covered it. I don't think that's true. I just think that's what happened, but I don't think he did. I don't think there was any animosity between the two of them, all right? Just between us. Here's Amun, form of a ram. What I wanted to show you is this fallen obelisk. If you watch that movie, The Mysteries of the Great Sphinx, this is in it. This is a part of a fallen obelisk, and when you hit this thing on the back, or on the, in this case you hit the nose, if you have a microphone in the back, you pick up a sound that sounds very much like a gong. And we'll get back with you later.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, that was interesting, especially the obelisk thing with the gong and the making of the sound that
sound.
it makes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Maybe there's another purpose for those obelisks, not just to
Yeah.
be ornate, but maybe there's more to it.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
in the YouTube description, it explains what these priests, how seriously they took their job.
Hmm.
The priests and the priestesses, and usually the women took care of the female gods' needs, and the males took care of the male gods.
Hmm.
But it's like they considered this temple to be honoring all their gods, and some of their bigger gods, higher level gods, are featured in their glyphs throughout the temple.
Hmm.
And then there's smaller glyphs on the columns that represent the lower gods. And they dedicated their lives, just like Catholic priests and other, to the care taking of the gods. So they felt their presence was in that temple. Nobody else was allowed in there but priests and priestesses. Not even the pharaoh
Wow.
was admitted into the temple. Yeah,
That's surprising.
strange. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she was giving us an idea of what some of those symbols meant, and the question came from somebody in here, Celine. Was it Salinas? Asking what the temple's called. She only referred to it in her notes as the Great Temple of the Priests and the Priest Complex. She didn't refer to it as Luxor or Karnak. Not having been there before, I wouldn't know. But Dalibor is in the chat room, so maybe Dalibor recognized something and he could let folks know. So, folks, what did you think of that? She wants to have these short video releases every now and then and give us a little bit of insight. And sometimes it'll be in the middle of one of her tours, or she'll have people with her. And some clips might be 20 minutes long. Some might only be 15 minutes long, but they're little subtle, Now, we could have the chat room open like this, where people are able to chat and ask questions. There will be times when she'll be able to hook in. But the whole idea is that anybody can run this at any time and watch it, and even if they can't catch it when it's live. Yep. Luxor,
Luxor. Yeah.
It looks like
Truth
Luxor
Seeker was right. Yeah, Truth Seeker asked the question.
So it's
first.
part of Luxor?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Luxor's huge.
It is big, isn't it?
Yeah. And when you see the other side of Luxor, I thought there were even more statues. And the pictures I've seen, this doesn't really look like Luxor, but maybe it's part of it, part of the whole complex. Yeah.
Yep.
Hi, David Castle. Greetings to you, too. So Michelle says it's great information with incredible visuals. Yep.
Yeah, it's fascinating to know somebody that actually lives there and does this and has firsthand knowledge. I mean, we're tapping into a really creative resource here to bring this to everybody. I don't know about anybody else, but I've always been fascinated with Egypt. I know lots of other people are.
Yeah.
So to see this and experience it is it's really great. Yeah.
The only difference is we won't, like we're doing tonight, we're just doing this to premiere it, but we won't be on screen. It'll just be the video, her playing. Right. We'll have the chat room open for people to comment like this and exchange information. Like Dalibor, he's telling us about the Ankh, the shoe strap, and there'll be times when she might be linked in as well. So, yeah, it is kind of almost like being there when I first. Now, folks, just to give you an idea of what Lori's doing here, Lori, I got to say this because I think you deserve it. Okay.
Okay.
We're not into this for ego and glory. Okay. We want to help Khadija get this information out because some of what she's going to be sharing, it's going to be stuff you haven't heard before, or it's going to be stuff you may have heard of, but it's been kept quiet. Part of their history, part of the knowledge that's been missing. So that's going to be important. And Lori has volunteered her time to actually take this on as an extra responsibility. which means she's got to put together these videos. When we get these videos, it's not all one piece of film. It comes to us in 3 and 4 parts. This was 4 different videos that Lori then blended together, okay, into one smooth video. And she's designed this front end piece and the graphics associated with that. I helped her with the music and some of the other graphics. But the point is that Lori, on top of Andromeda, which is on Fridays, our specials, workshops on Wednesdays, our Esoteric Egypt series, and now this. Lori runs an auto detailing shop and a crew of what, 5, 6 people at least?
There's about 16 employees.
16 now? You got 16 now?
We're the biggest, largest shop here in the Reno Sparks area. We're the top #1 rated shop as well. So
yeah,
we know our stuff. I'm 40 years in this industry. So
yeah,
this is what's allowing me to do all this stuff, all this time and energy I put into that. So
yeah.
Thank you for saying that.
You're bouncing back and forth between the shop and Andromeda, the shop and Andromeda. And then pure love. We try to do a card read show every other week or every couple weeks. So there's a lot of time and effort that's going into this. And we thank you, Lori. The Andromeda team thanks you. And I'm sure the Soul Tribe feels the same way, because that's a commitment of love, people, because that's time, a lot of time. And our counterpart is over in Egypt, so she's up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and sometimes we're chatting with her to get the detail. So that's where I come into play, so that Lori can sleep. But there's a lot of that, and so we really want to know if you guys feel this is worth the effort, because if we release it weekly now, Khadijah's sharing this out with. All of her followers and her friends in Egypt. So there's going to be a lot of people watching these outtakes, and we hope that they'll get a lot out of it, So feel free to comment later. Send us your comments. Comment on the public page if you want. Send us an email. We greatly appreciate all of your feedback and participation,
Appreciate that.
Really appreciate that, yeah.
Also, we are going to do Pure Love Ascension card read Saturday.
Yeah.
So back to that.
Well, that's a special.
Make sure you join us. So 5 o'clock Pacific Standard, 8 o'clock your time, Teresa?
Yeah, Eastern. Yeah.
And Central would be 7, correct?
Yeah, we're trying to allow enough time so that we don't bump into Robert's show.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that it's something different with the card reads this time, because we're inviting people who are interested in wanting to explore their intuition and share their intuition. So if you've never tried card reading before for other people, come on the show Friday and give it a Saturday and give it a shot. Yeah. Practice your skills, just like you practice remote viewing, practice your card reading skills. So if you have a deck of cards and you feel called to do this and you've been wanting to try it, come on the show Saturday. And we'll be putting the link in the chat. You can link in and pull some cards for some people. Okay. Yeah. Also, if you're an experienced card reader and you would like an opportunity to do some card readings, that would be great, because we learn from each other. So, if you want to come on, just shoot us an email or let us know, text me, or just show up in the chat room and we'll put the link in there.
Yeah. Sounds really good.
Yeah. Give everybody an opportunity to try it.
Yeah. We always get so much out of those card reads,
Hi,
they
Brandy.
always resonate.
Hi, sister. Sweet
Grandpa
Brandy.
Brian, good to see you as well. Brandy, always a pleasure to see you.
Yep. David Castle.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen this and you're just jumping in right now to figure out what's going on, replay it. It's a 15-minute premiere video of our new Voice of Egypt mini series. If you want to call it a mini series or short. Hey, Delaney. So, okay. So that's it. Pretty much. That's it. And we appreciate you folks jumping in here.
And of course, we'll see you tomorrow night for Mandy Moo.
Mandy Moo. She's alchemizing those crystals again.
Right on. That's going to be a great show.
This time she's getting into that there's so many crystals out there that we might not be aware of, but they actually have a toxic affect if they're broken or if
Yeah.
if they're not tumbled or smoothed.
Hmm.
She's also going to show us how UV lighting will activate electrodes. Electrodes? Is that right? Electrons.
Yes.
Electrons
Electrons, yes.
inside the crystals to get them to vibrate at a different frequency.
It's fascinating.
And so maybe the
You guys are gonna love
combination
this.
will help us reactivate that energy grid or
Yeah.
create a new energy grid.
Yeah.
So that's
gonna
going to
be
be a
great.
fascinating show. Yeah.
So Mandy Moo tomorrow. We got the Soul Tribe card read on Saturday night. So lots coming in the next couple of days. So want to thank everybody for
See what Gaza's saying? I do card readings, but only to my family because I have no confidence in when I'm doing, but doing and saying, man, it always turns out brilliantly when I do the readings. Gaza, you're welcome to come into the stream and give it a shot.
Sure. Yeah.
Because what we do, our energy, we
Mhm.
make it fun. So
Mhm.
you already get that energy. And then
Right.
spirit can interact with you anywhere, Gaza.
Right. You can't get it wrong. You just can't get it wrong.
No, you're just
Nope.
not channeling, but funneling.
You're a conduit, I would say.
A conduit
Yeah.
for that.
You're
for
an
that.
extension of source.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
just because you're an extension of source, then you're able to pull the card that resonates with you.
Yeah, and it almost always affects more than one person too.
Oh, absolutely. It's amazing sometimes. Yeah.
There could be somebody who really needs to hear the message, Gaza.
Sure.
Give it
Yeah.
a try. It's what it's
Yeah.
for.
Yep. give to the Soul Tribe, everybody. Just give
Yeah.
each other, be there for each other. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a great time. We enjoy doing it. It's
Yeah.
very casual, and it's just, we got love for everybody. So
Yeah. Conduit. Hey, Julianne's calling us cons. Conduit. A duet of cons?
Uh-oh.
Getting us into trouble, Julianne.
That's funny. Share
right.
in, she says. Share in.
Sharon.
All right. That's
well,
it.
Get the word out, folks. Let us know
Yeah.
what you thought about this. And
We'll see
so
you
far, it
tomorrow,
looks
and
pretty
we'll see you
good.
Saturday.
All right.
All
Good
right.
night, everyone.
Bye-bye. Peace
Bye.
and love.
Peace.